What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below as it's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. In this video, we're going to talk about the possibility of a $1,400 to $2,000 stimulus check here coming here soon because of how bad inflation is and because of what we're seeing here with inflation, gas, and what the Biden administration is doing and what the Democrats are doing. In fact, we just seen this happen. Check this out. The Biden administration just made 100,000 more student borrowers eligible for debt cancellation. Student loan debt cancellation or debt forgiveness, however you want to say it. So this is a very significant amount. And this is just another stimulus type program that the Biden administration just basically forgave. Again, more stimulus money still coming out of the pandemic. You can see here nearly 100,000 people are now eligible for student loan debt cancellation, the Department of Education just announced. So this is in addition to last year's $11.5 billion of student loan forgiveness that President Biden enacted last year. So last year was mostly for adults with disabilities. The colleges closed on them or defrauded them, or people in the public student loan service forgiveness program also. And this is going to be, they've expanded it now to 100,000 more people are eligible. That's a lot of people. You can see here how much it's going to be. The cancellations would apply to people who were affected by new changes the agency made in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, PSLF. In total, the cancellations would amount to almost $6.2 billion in student debt relief. $6.2 billion in student debt relief. That's a lot of money. So they're literally still passing stimulus. Again, if you're part of this program, that's $6 billion that was just approved here in the last few days. Under this Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, eligible borrowers that were promised that their student loan debt would be canceled after they pay on debt over the course of 10 years. Since it was established nearly 15 years ago, only a small portion of people who qualified for the program were actually granted forgiveness prior to 2021, the news outlet noted. More than 90% of applicants to the program had been rejected in the past. The Biden administration has now widened eligibility requirements for the program temporarily last year after borrowers complained that they discovered they were ineligible for the program after they had already repaid their loans for at least a decade. So now there's now another 100,000 people that are now eligible for student loan debt cancellation. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said that it signifies meaningful relief for borrowers and that the PSLF announcement made today means more of our dedicated teachers, nurses, first responders, service members, and many other public service workers will get meaningful relief. And you got to really think here is that they really just passed $6 billion of student loan forgiveness here. And this is basically like handing out a stimulus check worth $6 billion to those people. And this kind of really makes you wonder, is more stimulus money going to come this year because it's an election year. It's a really big year. The whole House and the whole Senate is up for reelection, and a lot of states are up for reelection as well. A lot of states' governors are up for reelection, and a lot of even major cities, mayors are up for reelection here as well. And remember, right now, the Democrats, Biden's a Democrat, but the Democrats also control the House and the Senate, and they control all of Congress right now, and they don't really want to give that up. Of course, the Republicans want to take over the House and the Senate. So remember, the third stimulus check, those $1,400 checks, were passed completely on their own. $1,400 checks for adults, $1,400 checks for children, and the last time around, the $1,400 checks were passed for adult dependents and college student dependents. And from stimulus check 1 to stimulus check 2, adult dependents and college student dependents didn't even receive stimulus checks, but last time they did. And the Democrats, including Senator Joe Manchin and all the Democrats, they passed that through the reconciliation card without a single Republican vote. So Democrats can pass another stimulus check either through the reconciliation process completely on their own in the House, the Senate, and the presidency without a single Republican vote this year before the election and, quote, get more votes. I hate to say it, but I mean, we are a political country where they want to gain votes before the election, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, you know. But if it puts money in people's pockets, whatever, right? But I'm just saying that could be a big reason why another stimulus check is coming this year. But another reason is that whether Democrats do it on their own or they do it with Republicans, because remember, there are a lot of Republicans on board right now, at least for the child tax credits. Right now, Republican Senator Mitt Romney actually, you can see this headline, wants your child to have a $4,200 yearly allowance. So Republican Senator Mitt Romney actually has a bill that he just recently introduced a few days ago that would send out monthly checks, the child tax credits, for $350 per month, a total of $4,200 in those monthly checks called the child tax credits for children 5 and under. And for children 6 through 17 would get $250 to restart the child tax credits. And again, those have been stalled right now, but Republicans are on board. It would have some changes. It would have work requirements and potentially a couple different changes. But if you don't fall under those changes, if you're working, having those checks would be a lot better than not having those checks. So there are Republicans on board for these monthly checks. And also remember that stimulus check 1 and stimulus check 2 was passed with Republicans and Democrats. There's also $800 billion of unspent stimulus money from stimulus package 1, stimulus package 2, and stimulus package 3, a little bit of leftover money from all three of them is just kind of sitting around there. And because of the high prices of gas right now and the high prices of inflation right now, both Republicans and Democrats right now are basically kind of saying that inflation is out of control and something needs to be done about it. In fact, both Republican and Democratic governors right now are actually proposing or proposing or even passing stimulus checks or reducing the price of gas taxes in their states and multiple different stimulus type programs. If you've been watching my show every single day, we've been covering this here all the time. We have Republican governors and Democratic governors doing this here on a daily basis. So this kind of shows you that the possibility for not just state stimulus checks and state stimulus programs, but also federal stimulus checks and federal stimulus programs are still happening. The student loan forgiveness literally still happening, as I just showed you, and stimulus checks are really still right around the corner and or still possible. We also have the bill that was just unveiled only like 48 hours ago. Democrats unveil a plan, or there's an actual bill to issue quarterly stimulus checks to Americans by taxing oil companies and actually making the oil companies pay for this by posting huge profits because they're and just making them pay for a portion of this by doing that. So there's a lot of potential money coming to Americans here in the near future, and these could potentially be as high as $300 a month. Economists say that actually the federal government could pay as high as $300 a month. So there's a lot of money potentially flowing here in the near future. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Also, something interesting I wanted to share with you guys. Simon Cowell started his career as a mailroom clerk at a record label. One of his first jobs in show business was working as a runner on the movie The Shining, cleaning Jack Nicholson's acts between takes and scenes. What Simon Cowell realized is that music shows were a mega hit reality TV concept, and he and the judges make a boatload for appearing each episode. Being a TV personality on one of the most viewed shows in the world pays big, as Howie Mandel, for example, earns $70,000 for each TV episode. Heidi Klum, the former supermodel, is believed to be making around $100,000 per episode. Simon Cowell's net worth now exceeds $500 million. And you don't get to those levels just by appearing as a judge on reality TV. To show the difference, Howie's net worth is only $40 million only, right? And Heidi's net worth is $120 million. Even Sophie Vergara, who stars in a major TV show called Modern Family, doesn't even tickle Simon's wealth with her $180 million net worth. Cowell is far richer than they are because he doesn't just attract audiences to watch the contest, but he also discovered and signed a number of successful artists such as Fifth Harmony, One Direction, Susan Boyle, Leona Lewis, and Little Mix. The show serves as an incredible lucrative way for him to have talent come to him, and his main exit is to sign the most promising acts to a deal. It is an ideal procedure. If you think about it, he gets paid a fortune to have all the talents come to him instead of scouring the world to find them. Then, after he has seen them all and built rapport with them, he inks a record deal and takes them to the next stage after collecting so much data on their voices and ability to perform and wows the crowd. The business model is similar to how the sharks on Shark Tank operate, one of my favorite shows, actually. Each shark is paid around $100,000 an episode, but what they really want is to invest in mega successful small business startups and then take them to the next level. I absolutely love that model. Warren Buffett called his insurance business the crown jewel of Berkshire's empire. The man has arguably read more financial reports and analyzed more business than any other human being in history. And he has concluded that making a thin and consistent underwriting profit on the front end and investing the float the insurance business provides tax-free on the back end is the greatest financial wizardry ever. Front end and back end, making a nice, consistent upfront profit, collecting data, and using it to develop a once in a lifetime opportunity on the back end is the ultimate business model. The new company that we have uncovered, which Mike Tyson is actually a shareholder of, has created this very business model, and the back end opportunity to scale it is unlike any that I have ever seen in my career if executed properly. Prepare for some shock and awe. In 1968, the European leaders began feeling the cracks and started to have doubts. How can we trust that every $35 notes in existence are covered by a physical ounce of gold? They demanded an audit. In fact, France was adamant that the European countries depart from the dollar backed gold system and launch their own separate one. It was starting to look like the world was about to see a real dollar shock, so the government did the unthinkable. The decoupling of gold from the 35-to-1 artificial fixed ratio created a 2,400% rally in the price of gold between 1971 and 1980. And it has led to its price going all the way up to $2,078 per ounce just last week. In 51 years, this asset is up 61x or 6,000%, all due to one initial decision to create the fiat money system. I wasn't around when gold traded for $35 an ounce and the pivotal change occurred, unfortunately. This opportunity was clear to many, though, who realized that such a monumental change in the way that central banks and governments issued currency would bring an epic rally in precious metals and commodity prices. Gold at $35 an ounce is a non-reoccurring moment. We will never get to experience or capitalize that again. But I think an even bigger moment has arrived because of a company which has patented a proprietary protocol in the most innovative field in the world today. I've seen the cryptocurrency industry form and grow directly in front of my eyes. During those formative years, I've heard from billionaires and titans of the industry that Bitcoin is going to go to zero. Since wealth research groups planted the flag on Bitcoin at $450 a coin, it has derived over a 100x return. I saw the same type of criticism when it came to cannabis, and since then it had birthed one of the largest groups of millionaires in America in the past few years. In both cases, with my very own eyes, I saw people go from zero to multimillionaires, and I've even met billionaires. I already see giants like Peter Thiel, Kevin O'Leary, and others mounting the charge, making big bets in the industry, and my attention is fully devoted to one company, which I believe researching should be your top priority today, chiefly because of their patent, their founder, and their business model. Conduct an in-depth due diligence right now on Wisana Health, US ticker symbol WSNAF. To really understand the size and scope of this potential, understand that Wisana Health, again, US ticker symbol WSNAF, operates in an industry that has not yet developed the protocols for treatment. The sector is so ripe for growth that I cannot help but to compare it to the first cars, which were manufactured before they were even on the road for petrol stations. Wait until you research the founder, Daniel Carcillo, the NHL Stanley Cup winner twice. We've hit a slam dunk with Wisana Health, US ticker symbol WSNAF. The founder of the company owns 22% of all outstanding shares, and he is all in and then some. He founded Wisana Health because this industry saved his life, and he wanted to make sure that he develops the best technology and the treatment for those who desperately need it. Daniel Carcillo is a two-time Stanley Cup winner who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of his savings and nearly blew through all his entire savings to cure his traumatic brain injury. After trying everything that Big Pharma sells, he was open to anything, and through trial and error, he found the right dosage of psilocybin and plant medicines and won his life back. Wisana Health is already a component in the psychedelics ETF, yet no one I asked knew the first thing about it. The stock is completely under the radar because the IPO happened less than a year ago and they're already in talks with the FDA to advance their drug development process. Developing the first drugs in the psychedelics industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. So we're on the same page, and Wisana Health, the sponsor of this video, is advancing quickly. The market cap is only $30 million, and as I write this, their business is already bringing in revenue from operating 3 clinics. Their cash flow comes from treating patients now, and their dream exit comes from becoming the pioneer in the drug developments. In terms of upside potential, this is one of the top 5 companies I've ever encountered in 20 years. So make sure to do your due diligence and check out their stock here. Let me know your thoughts here. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day. You can click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.